Welcome, everyone, to show number 3 of Danny Dodge Live. We're here, actually, probably not live to you right now, but live as we can be. We've got 3 cameras rolling. I've got Travis Sander, who's Ginger, my wife's brother, and, of course, my beautiful wife, Ginger, here. So, hey, guys, say hello to the people.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Travi. Now, Travis, you and I have kind of gotten along. When we get together, we have a lot of fun. And it's been really good because, you know, the chances of us actually getting together were very slim to none at first because Ginger, being basically, she was adopted at birth, never knew she even had a brother. And Ginger, you know, that story is pretty interesting. Why don't you just kind of go back in time and tell us a little bit of how we kind of got to this point? I mean, you were adopted. You had no clue about your father, and you literally had no clue about your mother, but you knew one thing. You knew her name is Sammy Denny, and you had worked years and years to get there. And tell me a little bit about that.
Well, adopted at birth, like you said, and my adoptive parents were wonderful, and they were always very open with me about the adoption, so I always knew I was adopted, and they gave me all the information that they had. So I had done some looking. This was in Indiana, and Indiana birth records are sealed very tightly, so I didn't have very much recourse there. And I just kept hitting brick walls. Every time I would find a clue, it would be another brick wall. So I started posting on the internet and going to adoption reunion websites and posting the information I knew, which was my birth mom's name, date of birth, of course, and location of birth. So I put all that information in there and hoped for the best. And it was literally years that it was posted on these adoption reunion websites.
Yeah, and I think, and you'll need to get a little closer to your mic, babe. Okay. But,
okay.
You know, one of the things that through the years, you know, Ginger wasn't real vocal about this. You know, she wanted to find you guys, you know, Travis, you, and your mom and dad. And it was one of those things where, you know, as you're trying to do an adoption, trying to go back to an adoption, these people won't give records out. Mm-mm. I mean, they will not give records out. And if they do, they're going to charge you a mint. And, you know, not knowing a whole lot about it. It's hard when you're starting out. And we were young at that time, didn't have a lot of money. But you know, I think what happened, and we'll just dive right into that because I want to cut it short tonight. You're a sleepy boy. I know, Trav. You're about an hour or two ahead of us. So we're going to cut it a bit short. But during that time, you know, it was pretty much just a weight game, you know. Mm-hmm. Ginger done just about everything she could to find her mom and dad. And, you know, all of a sudden, and this is very, very strange to me because, you know, when you get a phone call and there's this person on the other line, they won't tell you who they are, and they're kind of being cautious about, you know, telling you what they're looking for. And okay, I'll break in and say that this was an adoption agent. All right, no, what was that again?
Well, she was the host of the website.
That's right.
One of the reunion websites.
That's right. And rather than me just rambling on here, tell the rest of that story.
Well, she had called, and it was unfortunately during the day, and I was always at work. So you had taken the message, and she was very cryptic about it. Very, you know, I need to speak with your wife, and I can't tell you who this is or what it's regarding, but have her call me.
Yeah.
So I think she called 3 or 4 times, and I wasn't going to call her because I was like, I don't know what this is. It's probably somebody selling something, and if, you know, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So after about the 3rd or 4th phone call, I think I finally said, well, I got to find out what this is about. So I ended up calling her, and I did not expect to hear what she said. You know, she verified it was me. Then she told me who she was. And to be honest, I don't even remember. I had posted on so many adoption reunion websites. There was no way to even track whose was whose or what. So I didn't remember specifically posting on her site. But she said, "We found your father." And I was like, "What?" I said, "I wasn't looking for him because I didn't know anything about him. I didn't have anything to go on. I had no way to search for him." And she said that he had contacted her because he found me on her website. So, that just rocked my world.
Yeah, you believe
so
me.
excited, so scared. And again, it had been years, and I had never expected that phone call. So I know she gave us the information, or I think she verified, if I remember correctly, that it was okay to connect us. And I said, absolutely. So she contacted my dad and said, she's willing to talk. And anyways, long story short, she got us connected.
Yeah, but
right. So I was scared. I think did we email? If I remember right, we emailed first,
Boy.
maybe, but we got a picture of my dad. But I was, scared to pick up the phone because you just don't know what you're going to get into.
No, and the part of the thought I think that we both had was that, who is this guy? I mean, he's just out of the bush. He could have read this thing and said, hey, I'm this guy, and he thinks we got a lot of money. We had something to learn on that one.
Yeah, but, sorry to disappoint, Dad.
Oh, yeah. But in the end, you did talk to him.
Well, you were my go-between. You were my middleman.
I was the front line. Yep. Yeah, and a hard thing about it, I was thinking about this. I've never seen my wife in any situation uncertain about anything. She makes decisions, she makes them quick, and that's the only way I've stayed in line all these years, that she's taken care of me. But this time, it had her in a tizzy, and you just about didn't know what to do. And I think you were just being very, very cautious and probably shell-shocked to a certain extent.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, and then, of course, Terry, her father, your dad, he actually, I was thinking from his point of view, if this is my daughter, I've never even seen my daughter, and I know she's out there, and I've had the potential of reconnecting with her, it would be killing me waiting all these hours. I mean, it was 3 days.
Right.
And I said, Jen, you want me to just give him a call and at least say, yeah, she's going to talk to you, but she kind of shell-shocked right now. Yeah. So anyhow.
Well, and the other neat thing was, because of his information that he shared with this website host, within a 24 hours, she was able to track down my birth mom as well. So in that time frame, I found my dad, found out, hey, you've got a brother too, and also found my birth mom.
And one of the funnest brothers in the world.
Right. And that is
I
to cut to the...
agree with that.
I travel all the way, buddy.
And to cut, to the chase, I guess, it couldn't have ended any better.
No.
I've heard horror stories, and it feels like I've known them my whole life, and there was instant acceptance and just a family. Felt like a family.
It really did, and it's still, boy, it just gets better every year. So basically, we got a really great family suddenly, not expecting it, and sometimes these things can go bad, but we had not just a great family we've now found, we've got a cherry on top, which is you, Trav.
Yay.
Yes.
I've been called many things, but a cherry on top of something is not one of them.
Well, I tell you what, the reason I call you the cherry on top is because everything I do, you amplify. And we get together and have some fun. And it is not just fun, it's creative, and sometimes it's hazardous. And I have a TV cover, and there's years ago, okay, let's go backward. This was a couple years ago. I had told you for several years, I said, we got to do something together. And I think you were on the same ballpark. You said, you got the camera, let's roll. Well, this time we actually did when we were down there. And we ended up producing a TV commercial, right?
We did, and I really think that it should have went in for the Super Bowl.
Well, I'm kind of wondering myself, Your expressions and everything are perfect. And matter of fact, you're so easy to work with that, well, let's just show that commercial, and you'll see what I mean.
It speaks for itself.
It does indeed.
Mama, I saw a Sasquatch! Oh, Billy, I saw a Sasquatch! No, really, a Sasquatch! Yes, big and brown! Oh! I'll show them.
Jack Links for the Sasquatch in you.
And that was a blast. There was a lot of stuff. I will say that the bathroom shot, I think it shocked you more that I dropped my pants.
You what? Well, yes, but you got to remember I've lived with Ginger. Okay.
Like I go around dropping my pants all the time.
No. But you know. Okay, Ginger has done really well in keeping me in line for the past few years. And, you know, a lot of times I get out of line just simply because I'm that kind of a creature. I don't know where it came from. But like you, I enjoy good fun. And Ginger, I've got to say, my wife is one of the most amiable people in the world, unless you're flossing your teeth, and she can't handle it.
Did you say amiable or anal? See,
Yeah,
we're related.
There you go.
Thinking alike.
We're right on target here. But let's see, a year ago, and I always, around holidays, I usually get the holidays off, okay? And by that time, I'm stir crazy because I've worked all the way through the fall filming all kinds of stuff. But this one time, I thought I'm going to step over the line and see if she'll do this little Christmas greeting with me. And she actually said yes, and it turned out really good, Trav. I couldn't believe. So we're going to play that right now. All right, ready?
Good idea, honey.
Yep, on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy New Year!
Is there a problem?
Let's do it again. On 3. Get a little more out. Punch it a little more. Okay, here we go. All right.
You've been doing this too long.
1, 2, 3. Happy New Year!
What?
Well, okay. On this one, I want you to open your mouth. I want a big grin as you're saying Happy New Year. Okay, ready? Again. Okay, one more time. On 1, 2, 3. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Happy New Year!
Whoa. Dang.
Wow. Not naturally that big.
No. I wouldn't even go there just for fun.
Right. Because I keep you in line.
I'm married to you.
That's right. Happy wife,
Travis
happy
and
life.
I are not married, are we?
Wow. That's a whole nother show.
Trav, we might be able to do a reality show. What do you think?
Great minds think alike.
That's it.
Great minds think alike. That's right. And one thing we didn't mention is Sammy. Sammy is Ginger's mom. And Sammy, it was such a wonderful thing to actually get back together with her, too, because it completes the family. And this is the funny part. With Ginger's adopted, with married ins and all this, she had, at one point in time, 5 moms. And Christmas.
Right. I think so.
Yeah.
Mother's Day and Christmas.
That's right. And Christmas was very, very fun, and birthdays and everything,
Yep.
That's why we're still broke. But yeah, anyhow.
No, I bringing up Sammy, it's awesome to look at somebody, and I actually feel there's quite a bit of resemblance between Terry, my dad, and I think Travis and I, but especially with Sammy, there's even more resemblance, and even our mannerisms are very similar. So when I first met her in person, to recognize those same features or same characteristics that I do, like the hair twirling.
Oh gosh,
we're both sitting next to each other twirling our hair, and it was really fun and neat to see that.
I call it nighttime knitting.
And I don't have any bald spots. My adopted dad, JR, always used to say I was going to have a bald spot from twirling my hair.
Yeah, no bald spots here, but I know everybody wonders why I wear a hat. I ain't saying. But anyhow, Travis, you got a history. Before we met you, you were actually in radio, and you did stuff as Turnbuckle Trav. I kind of like that name, too. Rings off the lips.
Did.
Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, there was a radio station down in Florida, and they were looking for someone to join in on their morning show, and I jumped at the opportunity and gave them a tape, told them what I wanted to do. They told me what they were looking for, and I put it all together, and lo and behold, for about the next year and a half, I was working with them doing some morning stuff.
And it was good. I've heard some of the stuff. It was really good. A lot of fun.
That was early on, and it progressed from there.
And now you're doing Sasquatch commercials.
Wow.
I know, right?
Your life is complete.
That's right. Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll do a Doritos commercial next time.
There you go.
Well, you never know what's in the future. But Trav, I really appreciate you getting on the phone, talking with us here, and Ginger as well. Thank you, baby. You've done a wonderful job as
My
well as
pleasure.
keeping me in line. So, everyone, thanks again for joining us on show number 3 here on Danny Dodge Live.